everybody, pleasure to have your company on the form once again, and we've got a big weekend of racing to get through, a big feature meeting at Wingatui, so that means that we've got the pleasure of Craig Rail joining us on the form along with Aidan and Bevan, and this is what's coming up this week. We'll be starting with the feature meeting at Wingatui. We look forward to, of course, the Group 3 White Robe Lodge, that is the feature, then having a look at the undercard, including the Guineas there as well as the Cup. Then we've got our racetrackers as usual, heading to Matamata, of course, looking forward to their feature on the program. Taking a look at the Kiwis in Oz, Savagely takes on the Australians in the Guineas. Then on Sunday we head to Trentham for the Lowland Stakes preview and our best bets to round out the show. Feature meeting out of Wingatui on Saturday, and Bevan, you'll be on track, so what's our weather and track conditions looking like?
Yeah, with Greg away, chasing the wires, it's my great privilege to go down to Wingatui, bit of a bucket lister for me, and try and find a winner or two. Look, the forecast is great. The track is a soft 6 at the present moment, so all you can see is an improving track condition. They've had 20 mils in the last 7 days and no real rain in the forecast, so it's only going to be improving for what is a really, really good day of racing at Wingatui on Saturday.
Yeah, it certainly is. So let's take a look at the feature firstly. Race number 9 on the program. This is the White Robe Lodge at Group 3 level. Over the mile, open affair, Harlock favourite $4.50. From Mascot at $4.80. Then you've got Perfect Scenario at $5.50. And there has been a bit of money as well for Bill Thurlow's runner, Steal My Thunder, $21 into 14s. That's how the market is shaping up. Let's take a look at Harlock. Headed back down south, fresh up, Aidan, and was very good here, beating race rival Perfect Scenario.
Yeah, for a horse who's known more for his skills over longer, 1,600 metres and further, this was a terrific win over 1,400 metres. He was very good. He ends up racing away for them to score by 3.5. I thought the run of Perfect Scenario was just a terrific trial as he looks to defend his White Robe Lodge title. He's looking for 3 straight, and he's got a 4.5 kilogram swing on Harlock on a 4.5 kilogram, 4.5 length margin. I thought from that race is probably the winner. Craig Rail, I'm prepared to go Perfect Scenario to turn the tables on Harlock. I'm interested to know how you assessed it.
I went the other way round, Aidan. I thought Harlock was very strong in that race. He was ridden hard a long way from home, got to the lead and just continued on. He looked just as strong at the finish than he did on the home turn. So I thought Harlock, with a very good South Island form line, will be pretty hard to beat. Perfect Scenario, of course, winning this race last year. I was just a little bit disappointed with his run in the Hazlitt. He's a doozy. He's got very good Group 1 form. I thought he'd drop back in class, but I'm a fan of Harlock. I think he's very strong. There's not much pace in the early stages in this race, and I think Harlock will be up on the speed all the way.
Yeah, look, I found it interesting when I was mapping this with years back and maybe our Echo going forward, Richard Stomper, Perfect Scenario. I thought I'd get a nice slot. Harlock, I was in that sort of middle place where it was either back of midfield, one off, or going up and sitting out side speed. I prefer they go forward. I think he's absolutely flying. Look, Mascot is a good horse, make no mistake about that. The draw is a little bit niggly, but I think he can get on the back of a 3-wide train coming into this particular race, maybe off the back of Bauble. Master Marco, who has a little bit of sense of timing about him, and he's a doozy. This horse just had no luck all season, finally gets a gate. I think there's a lot of positive factors about he's a doozy as a Group 1 horse, I think coming into the right race. But Mascot, Craig, is a serious galloper.
He is, Bevan. I just thought that there's not enough speed in the race for Matt Scott. I think he's a dour stayer and he likes to just wind up at the latter stages. And I think he'll be a pretty quick last 600 metres here. So whilst he's grinding away, there might be others on the speed like Harlock that might be able to just be able to outdash him in the latter stages. The pace of the race, I think, is very crucial.
Yeah, the draw's no help to Matt Scott, but if he can settle, we know his ability. We remember his Southern Alps win last year, his run in the TAB Mile at Riccarton during Cup Week. Definitely a chance, and I don't want to be dismissing he's a doozy. Spoke to Lisa Ladder straight after that Herbie Dyke Stakes and said, what's going on? That's a disappointing run. She said maybe it was just because he's been so unlucky in the 3 lead-up fronts that we thought he was actually a lot fitter than he was. I bet she's poured the work into it, and I'm expecting an improved run from He's a Doozy.
Yeah, absolutely, Aidan. I think one not to let go in that market. And we'll talk to another trainer. And we'll start with Pam Gerard. And Aidan just asked her what she expects on Saturday from Harlock.
Oh, like you just got to go by his last run. There's a few extras that have come in, but he beat them really well last time, and if he can run up to what he did last time, he's got to be right in it. So, but it's racing. We hope the rain stays away. He does has a tendency to make it rain on the day when he goes to the races, so hopefully that won't happen.
We think he can. Obviously back to weight for age, back to the mile. He really loves Wingatui. Hunter and the team are really pleased with him. He worked on the galloping grass there on Tuesday morning. Solid piece of work. So hopefully the old boy can get the job done. We think he deserves to. He's had a really good season. He's obviously up there lugging the weights now, leading into Saturday. So back to weight for age, we think he's a really good chance.
When I was going through this again this morning, I thought there were 8 or 9 winning chances with a little bit of luck. I am going to land, and I tried not to do this heading down south with the Central District horse, and he's a doozy. I think he's finally got a draw at the 1600 metres. I think he gets 3 back, 1 off. If he gets any sort of luck in this particular race, and he has been unlucky this preparation, including behind Sword and Stone at Oteki and other performances in very good grade. If he gets the right splits in this particular race, I think he's great value for you at $9.50.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Harlech. Bevan, well, the North Island form coming down to the deep south is very, very strong. How often do we see North Island performers come down here and just dominate? So I do think he's a doozy's a chance, and Harlech, and I do think Harlech's going to be really hard to beat on his overall form. We haven't even mentioned one of my favourites in the Grey Goose, who's resuming from a spell, won the ODT Southern Mile qualifier last year on the same day. But gee, Harlech's going to be hard to beat for mine.
I'm against you, Craig. I really think the perfect scenario can turn the tables on Harlech. Just love that 4.5 kilogram swing at the weights. A horse who won this race by 3.5 lengths 2 years ago, half a length last year. He's looking for his 3rd straight win in this race, and he looks to be absolutely peaking. The one spanner in the works is Rory Hutchings' injury at Taupo, meaning that at this stage, when we record the show, there's no rider declared. If they've got the right rider, then I think perfect scenario will make it 3 straight in the White Robe Lodge.
Okay, everybody split in the White Robe. As we now move on to the next race we want to take a look at, and it is, of course, the last race on the program, but is the OTD Southern Mile Final over the mile with $200,000. And Quintabel, favourite despite the wide draw at $4, Trey Bond at $4.60, Tommy Shelby at $5.50, and obviously Steal My Thunder, Jill nominated, no jockey down yet, so probably won't be starting in this. Take you back to the key lead in here. Last time Quintabel did win this, Aidan, but boy, it was a blanket finish. Who stood out for you?
When I'm going with a horse who was able to get the weights right for the White Robe Lodge, I'm going against that in this race. Quintabel meets Trey Bond 2 kilograms worse on a nose margin and draws barrier 20. But boy, she's just such an improving horse. She's won 4 of 14 compared to Trey Bond winning 5 of 33. I think they're 2 key chances in this race, and I just really love the way that she finds the line on the inside there. She's a super mare. She's got a couple of things against her, the weights and the draw, Craig, but I'm with her here.
The barrier draw swung me, Aidan. As soon as I saw 20, I thought, oh, she's in trouble here. But her last 2 wins have been spectacular, particularly 2 runs ago. And if she drew anywhere bar the outside gate, I think I would have put Quintabel on top. I'm going Tommy Shelby each way. 2 very good wins prior to his 4th. He battled away quite well in that particular performance we just saw when he ran in the 4th position. But he does race well in the South Island tracks. He showed great speed when he won 3 starts ago, and he's much better drawn than Quintabel. So I put Tommy Shelby on top, and keep in mind he was very good New Zealand Cup week with a 2nd and a 6th in Premier races.
You tell me how Royal Villa, you've just seen that replay, Royal Villa has come from last in that particular race. Quintabel, Trey Bond, come from last, and it's $21 against the prices of those other horses. I was blown away with that. Last start is just an absolute horror watch around Royal Villa, and misses on the good 4 in between times. If there's a little bit of cut in the track, I think it's well capable. He'll Steal My Thunder. I was at the races at Matamata, and they were all saying, back Steal My Thunder, Bill Thielo's gone all the way to Invercargill, and they were right. A horse that has been disappointing at times, but there's been a few physical issues with Steal My Thunder. This is a horse that's very, very progressive. They don't mind a bet, this team, from Waverley, and they've had another crack here in a very, very strong race. Steal My Thunder has put two together. Of course, we saw it through the winter, put up some nice performances, and look, they've had a bit of luck, the Theolos. Mark Corcoran also in the ownership of the Darren horse, who has just been, well, Darren himself has been very, very good. Hey, I might need my temperature taken, but I'm going with Royal Valor. Now, if there's any chance of coming from last at Wingatui to be the last on the program over the 1600 metres, I map it as a quick race. I think that gives Royal Valor every chance. I'm going to tip you one at big odds at $21, liking the chances of Royal Valor.
Was 12th in that Steal My Thunder race, Bevan, and so just has been mixing the form. Speaking to Bevan, Bevan Wilson leading into that Invercargill run, he just thought that the horse was coming right, so it was a much improved run, so I really respect that. I'm going Quintabell without a great deal of confidence, especially around the weights and the draw. The horse who's forgotten a little bit is Funfetti. I know it was one on the ballot and draws 18, but it blitzed him last time out by 4. So, geez, like you say, it's a very good race. Craig, what are you going for?
Yeah, I'm sticking with my original thoughts with Tommy Shelby. I think he's just drawn to get a good run just off the speed. Horses like Vamos will go really fast in the early stages of the event, so getting a run just off the speed. And I'm with you, Bevan, because Royal Valor coming from last might not be that bad a thing with such a fast early speed in the event, so it's not without a chance at the each-way odds, but I do think that Tommy Shelby be hard to beat. Traybon's been very strong. I thought he was entitled to win last start and he just didn't get the job done, but he of course won the Nuggets at Kamara recently, so he's been in good form. But I'm sticking with Tommy Shelby.
Okay, shows how good it is with, again, everybody split. In the first feature from Wingatui, the White Robe Lodge gets underway on your big Saturday at 4:37. We continue on with our preview. This time we're going to have a look at the Dunedin Guineas, race number 7 on the program, that listed level here over the mile again, and Show Pony is the joint favourite with Royal Sovereigns at $5.50 a piece, and then you've got Freddie Time along with Lil Zena at $6.50. Let's go back, of course, to the key lead-in, and that is the Invercargill Guineas here, and Show Pony, very good 8-in, 3 wide with cover, but made up good ground behind Pivotal 10.
Yeah, this is a Gore Guineas pip, but a really good run from Show Pony. Had one at Wingatui a couple of starts back, beating Discretion Rules, and did it beautifully that day by 2 1/4. Yeah, obviously we know this horse Pivotal 10 is just going from strength to strength to strength. So any horse who's chasing him behind, very good. The run was terrific, and then you've seen Tasimbra, who ran 7th in that race, come out and run a very good 2nd in the Southland Guineas. So the form stacks up, and the form is strong around Show Pony.
Yeah, it's a very interesting race, Aidan. I've gone Lil Zena has been very good right throughout her career in feature events, 3rd in the Welcome Stakes, of course, raced very well on New Zealand Cup Day, and also last start 2nd in the NZB Endurance Stakes. So Lil Zena's my selection. We've seen the fillies be very competitive in the Guineas events, with Pivotal 10 just dominating in recent times. There was always a tip for Freddie Time, and I really think the step up in distance for Freddie Time going to suit him, and Air Park Hustler's one at odds that you might like each way. Show Pony's a very good chance as well. Plenty of chances, Bevan, in the Dunedin Guineas, but I thought Lil Zena's been at feature race level right the way throughout her career and deserves a big one.
You can't disagree with you, Craig, because I think there's a host of chances, and the market indicates that. Where did I land? Look, I thought it was an interesting race. I think Show Pony's going really nicely. Epic Hustler is a horse on the up, but I really like the chances of Royal Sovereign. Now, this is all draw orientated from that inside gate. Very good behind Like a Lucy over the 1600 metres last time. She is the benchmark, in my opinion, as we get up over the 16 into the 2000 metres in the central districts, and probably of the fillies at the present moment. I think Royal Sovereigns will jump, put itself there, and I think it's very competitive. But you could pick 5 here, miss the winner. There's one here I'd like to mention. I think Loose Sally's got a lot of upside. I know we haven't seen it since Boxing Day, but a horse with a lot of ability. So, A-Rod, I'm not sure where to go really in this particular race. You're landing with the CD horse just from a decent gate.
Yep, and real reason too. The run at Trentham, terrific. You know, you give upside to Lil Zena, who was cold the other day, but you know is going to be improved from that. So Simbra was terrific at Southland, just a wide barrier draw against. But everything's leading me back to Show Pony. I just love the win 2 starts back on the track, and the Gore run was very good. So that's where I've landed. Show Pony from a good gate to get a really cosy run.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking in the Dunedin Guineas, as we now have a look at the Dunedin Cup as well. Race number 8 on the program will be the next market we take a look at, and as you can see here, Smooth Operator favourite. It's very open, $6. Sir Albert at $7, along with Noble Knight, Field of Gold and Elegant Lady, both in single figures. So let's try and find some form and pick your winner. We'll start, of course, last time down at Invercargill in the Invercargill Cup. Noble Knight wins this, but boy, eye-catching in behind. I know you've picked out here, Aidan, Smooth Operator.
Yeah, Smooth Operator, who at this stage gets wide, but 150, 200 metres earlier was in no man's land and just zips home. I thought just a super run from this horse. Love what Noble Knight's been doing. Just keeps on improving and going well. But, geez, if Smooth Operator got clear running at the 600 metres, I think this would have been a race where we would have been seeing a different winner. So for that reason, I'm really keen on seeing this horse maybe turn the tables on Noble Knight this time round, Craig.
Yes, I'm going for the North Island horse and Field of Gold, Aidan. I know he's first up in the south. It's first up over the distance. But I just thought out of the Herbie Dyke Stakes, that should be a great form line, Group 1 level. I think it's a bit of a drop back in class, and he's not coming all the way down from the North Island just for one particular event to be down the track. I think the connections will be very confident he'll go well. So Field of Gold for mine. Bevan?
Couldn't disagree again, and what are we, $6 the field here in the Cup, and I thought this was a nice group of emerging stars actually, with a couple of the senior horses at the top of the market. Myself personally, going for Elegant Lady. I really love what I saw last time after blowing the start behind Family Ties. I know that was a 75 up to the open, but 55.5 kilos sort of suits my eye. I think there's a 3 wide train coming into this particular race with Complicate leading up and a couple of others going forward. I see them running at strong enough tempo. Really impressed what I saw last time. What are we getting there? 950, but it's going to be that sort of day.
Yeah, but it's a big drop, isn't it? 6.5 kilograms. You love to see that for a horse who was unlucky in this race last year, Elegant Lady. So real respect around to you. Can see why you've gone that way too, Bevan. Nice race again, the Dunedin Cup. Jeez, it's a program full of terrific races on Saturday. I made it my tracker last week, and I'm going to stick with it too. Smooth Operator for me to take the price.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Make sure you get involved. Plenty of good betting races, and all the action gets underway from Winatui on your big Saturday first race, 11:57 a.m. Time for our race trackers, and that means Aidan, you're up first. Who are you liking?
I'm going to take you back to Ellerslie last Saturday, and a horse who really caught my eye is a horse back on the inside in the yellow cap, blue sleeves, is Koharoa, who from the outside gate had to go back. It wasn't a day where you really wanted to get back. Just love the way that the horse attacked the line. He's run the quickest last 8, 6, 4 and 2, and I just think, just waiting to be winning. So stick with Koharoa next time. Craig, for you?
Well done, Aidan, because that was my selection as well, Koharoa. But I've ended up with Oceana Dream. I thought went terrific last time out. Same meeting at Ellerslie. That's him out wide on the track and really hitting the line in the latter stages and what was a top-class field. So I think Oceana Dream is ready to win. Have a look at him in the last 100 metres.
This is a bit of a nightmare for Nebba. This happens in racing. You can just see Spilari back with the yellow cap. It's a bit of a nightmare if you're on the favourite here. He just got trapped in the trail, tried to come out across him, and then he got checked again, and he's just not tested at all to the line, and was just full of running late in this particular race. If he got any sort of luck, he would have won, in my opinion. And although he's been expensive a couple of times, you can stick with Spilari.
And I'm sticking at Pukekohe as well. I'll go for this horse here, the filly for Cambridge Stud and Lance Noble and Flash Effect. She actually got held up earlier on in the running. She had to go back. She come to the outside. She's run on really well behind Midnight Edition here and stablemate I'm All In. Fastest closing last 8, 6 and 400 metres. She's been a little bit green in her previous races. Still think she slightly is, but starting to put things together. I think she'll be winning next up. So Flash Effect for me. Craig starts us off off with Oceania Dream, Aidan with Kaidoa, Bevan with Spilari, and I'm with a Flash Effect. Put them in your race trackers. Domestic meeting up north on Saturday is out of Matamata. Aidan, weather and track wise, are we looking like getting a good track?
It's actually not the best of forecasts, actually, Pip. So a little bit of rain, so welcome here in the Waikato region. So the rain will begin Friday, and then it does look a little bit heavier for Saturday. So cloudy with showers. It's unclear just looking at the forecast on how much we're going to get. Rails out 3 metres, so it might have a bearing.
Take a look at the feature. It is race number 7 on the program, the Wairere Falls Classic, for $350,000 feature over the 1,500 metres, where Frostfair is the favourite at $370, from Kopua at $550, and then you've got Navigator at $7.50. Let's take you back to a key lead in here for your favourite Frostfair in behind Legato here. Aidan, very nice run. She was held up, but once she got clear, very good to the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Carried 55 this day. Unfortunately, and it's going to be the measure of big fields. You come up with wide draws sometimes, but the run very good. It's only beaten 2 lengths in behind Legato and drops 2 kilograms out of a terrific race. I think the form out of this race will stack up really nicely, and the run from Frostfair, first class. Just a tricky barrier draw. Has won 4 from 10 though, so there's a lot of upside.
Yes, certainly, Aidan. I thought Frostfair would be very hard to beat as well. You just saw turning the head, you're going down the straight, looking for that clear passage, only got out late. Legato, of course, top-class horse, was only beaten 2 or 2.5 lengths behind Legato. Great performance by Frostfair. I thought it was a match in 2 between Frostfair and Kopua, who's got a good second-up record, but I just thought Frostfair's got a little bit more class.
Frostfair, the gate's a little bit awkward. The only time the horses let you down or preparation is off a wide draw and they went forward, so they're going to hit to go back, in my opinion, which makes it difficult, but very good mare. Nice quality horses running for $350,000, isn't it, in this good race. Here's Kopua. Like, I think everyone at home knows he's probably my favourite horse at the present moment, and he went down south at a big price. Kevin Myers set him up and he won nicely. Look, he's been round at the trials on Tuesday in a very slow heat. He was supposed to run on Saturday, so that might have just put a little bit of a chink in the preparation. But this is him at last start at Trentham, when he was only beaten half length behind El Echo over 14. He'll be better than a mile. He is a horse who's got a lot of ability. I think he is a major player here in the Wairere Falls.
Yes, it's a really good quality field, isn't it? Malt Time coming out of weight for age level, and the Taranaki Cup winner Herbert's looking for 3 in a row. So it's a top quality field, but G Frostfair was pretty unlucky for mine last start, and I'll stick with him.
Okay, yeah, Kopua is going the right way. Geez, I don't know how LJ's going to hearing that he's Kopua is your favourite horse, Bevan, but on that form and knowing what he did, especially that TRB mile last year, he's got to be respected. But this is a terrific. These innovation races, Pip, they've really caught the imagination, haven't they? And good to see Matamata hosting this one too.
Oh, absolutely, Aidan. And one we haven't mentioned yet is Drop of Something. Comes up with the soft barrier, and Aidan asked trainer Wayne Hillis how the horse is heading into Saturday.
Yeah, he's going really well. Freshened him up from his last start. He'd only got up to distance, probably his last 4 or so, but when I first got him, he'd won 3 over a mile, so thought we'd give that a go.
He's done well. He's come up really well. Sort of matured a bit more, and yeah, obviously he's a staying sort of horse, but I think fresh up. The way he's been working, he can run a race.
Yeah, it's been good. He had a week off after Taranaki and then went to the water treadmill for a week, so just really freshened up nicely. I mean, he has had a big prep, but we've freshened him up, and look, he's been bouncing out of his skin, so we can't fault him really.
Oh, look, if he does everything right and switches off, he should be right there, but he's got to do things right, and yeah, he's a big bugger, as you say, and he can be quite strong-willed, so hopefully just relax is probably more so for me.
I'm hopeful that they can go good races, yeah. I'm not super confident, no.
Okay, yeah, just a little bit pouring water, but he does that, Mark Brosnan. Of those interviews, the one that really got me was Cody Cole on Navigator, just about the gear changes and the effect it'll have. Blinkers coming off, Shadow Roll goes on. Here's a horse who's running third in the Telegraph only 2 starts ago at Group 1 level. If he's bringing that sort of form at Group 1 level, I don't think the 1,500 metres is too much of an issue. He's a big, strong horse, so there's 58 kilograms, not too much, because he's carrying weight for age, coming out of two good Group 1 races. Navigator for me, boys.
Yeah, very good race, isn't it? Just looking through the interviews and hearing what the people have to say. What you have to say, Aidan, it's more quality of and depth of the field than I thought, but I'll stick with Frost Fair.
I am heading to Kapua. I do agree absolutely with Aidan though, Pip around Navigator. I think the boost price that I just saw was around about $9. Now that is crazy money around a horse that will go very close from a good gate after no luck last time.
Yeah, you're right, and there's already been money for him as well, so other punters seeing what you both are. And if you want to catch all of the action, well, all the build-up gets underway as usual on your big Saturday from 11:30am. As we jump across the Tasman, we're heading off to Flemington, of course, looking forward to the Australian Guineas, where Savagely will take on the Aussies. You can see them in the market there at $12. Favourite currently, though, is Angel Capital at $3.90. Ben Mellum to do the riding. Outside of it, Point and Shoot at $5.50. So that's how the market is shaping up. Let's go back, of course, to the BCD Group Sprint, where he finishes third. Aidan, what did you make of his run?
I thought his run was terrific. I think maybe a couple of the Aussie jockeys just worked out he was a bit colty, and keeping him in tight quarters was just going to lead to his undoing. But I thought he was still pretty good, and prior to that he'd won them in a row. This has been the target race the whole time through. He's already a Group 1 winner in New Zealand at 1,600 metres, so I'd love to see him run really well for Rick Williams, Dick Carriman and Pam and the team. But I think on form, he's got to be a realistic chance as well. Bevan, I'm interested to get your thoughts on where he sits in this.
I thought he was superb. Let's just say that I thought he was superb that day. I didn't think he could have gone any better. I thought he was held up on the inside, and he's probably wants to sort of define his own sort of fortune by even a little bit further forward and just controlling tempo and then using his turn of foot. And I think you see a 3-year-old go much better than that against those senior sort of horses. So look, $12 is okay. I'm not strongly across the rest of the Australian form, but I'm happy enough with him, Craig, going in, because I thought he probably went as good as he could in that particular race against some serious sprinters. Outstanding horse. I think he'll be very competitive, Bevan. Yes, be very hard to beat. But I'm going to put my Australian cap on. I like a horse called Sepples. Angel Capital will be also hard to beat after winning the Autumn Stakes. But Sepples is looking for 4 wins in a row. Was very good in the CS Hayes. Won by 3.5 lengths. Looked very strong. I think the rise in distance will certainly suit him. So a very interesting race. I'd love to see Savagely run a terrific race. But since I'm an Australian, I'll go for an Australian in Sepples.
And Craig, no. Right, let's hear from Pam, of course, trained Savagely, had a gallop at track work, and Aidan asked her about it.
He was pretty impressive, and track work rider Jess, she was super happy with him. He said he just had plenty left, so it was pretty good work too.
Yeah, how's he done since Te Rapa?
Yeah, really happy. Obviously, looking forward to getting out the mile. I think he's been waiting to get to the mile. He's just so cool. He's easy. You've just got to keep enough work into him to keep the edge off him, and hopefully we've done that. He's done all his work. We wanted to do it here on the grass, and we've done that. So he's just got to get across safely.
Yeah. How exciting is this for you, Pam?
Well, I don't really know how to feel. You know, it's a chance in a lifetime, and I'm not worried about where we're going, what we're doing, who we're up against. All I care about is that we've got the horse in the best shape and he's happy, and we're pretty happy that we've done that. So we'll worry about that on race day.
Who rides this weekend?
Mickey Dangerous is on, so pretty happy. He's going to have a sit on Friday when we're over there. But yeah, really good to have a Kiwi on, and yeah, obviously knows he's come into form at the right time, and pretty happy about that.
Craig, no, we have to talk to our HR department. I am going with Savagely. I'm just going to stick with Kiwis, Kiwi through and through. I hope he can go around a massive race, Aidan.
Yeah, I'm sticking that way as well. I really like what we've seen from Savagely in the build-up to this. Craig made a couple of good points about the lead-up form from Australia, but there's an iconic Kiwi brand, and I reckon we could just about name Craig after him, Kiwi Rail.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I love that, Aidan. And if you want to watch Savagely or maybe an Aussie Craig, you can watch that race, trackside 1 at 6:15. Good racing continues on Sunday out of Trentham. We look forward to the Lowland Stakes. The Sweens, that's your neck of the woods. What are we looking like track-wise?
Oh, perfect weather. I said that on Saturday though, so I've got everything crossed that we're 100% the go on Sunday for Lowland Day. Yeah, it's supposed to be beautifully warm there. The rail's out 6 metres, soft 5. It'll be into a good 4 by a race day. Pip on what I'm seeing on the Met service.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the feature. It is the Group 2 race number 8 on the program, the Jenny and Holmes Lowland Stakes. And Like a Lucy is your favourite for Robbie Patterson at $1.50. Canelo, $6.50. And Mayaka Bell at $8 is also in that single figures. Across the page, everything else at double figure odds. No surprise, Like a Lucy is your short price favourite because, boy, she was just so good here, Aidan. Didn't really have any chance to get through, and the way she won this was just breathtaking.
Yeah, there were a couple of jockeys riding to obviously make her really get pocketed, and you can see Mayaka Bell goes up on the outside. Looks to be a winning chance. Mayaka Bell's going really nicely. You've got to respect what she's doing, but she's just like a Lucy. She might be just something really special. She's beautifully placed in this race. Will take a huge amount of beating. She looks the absolute special of the weekend. I just love the upside about her, Craig.
Yeah, she's a very good horse, isn't she? She's just won 3 classic races in a row, including the Eulogy. You saw it there. She just travels so beautifully. If you have a look at her win over Canelo a couple of starts ago, where she was just absolutely bolting, then got a run through the middle and just accelerated sensationally. I thought Canelo was really good on that occasion in second after missing the start and coming from a long way back. So if there was to be an upset, maybe it comes from Canelo. But I think we agree for the first time, Aidan, with Like a Lucy. I think very good horse.
Hard to talk too much about this race because there's one benchmark horse and she's been beating them all, and she faces a lot of the same horses again, and there's a few fresh horses in here, but she's been held up the last 2. She's been fresh 2 ago, Pip, and still managed to win. So I think Ozzy Kerr and his team have bought the right one.
Oh yeah, I certainly think so. But there are other rivals in the race. Alaskan is one of those, and Sean Ritchie. Aidan just caught up with him and asked how she's going into this.
Yeah, look, I really like this filly. I think the Trentham track and the further she goes, the better she'll get. You know, sort of filly, if she draws down good, will help a lot. But if not, she'll get rolling a little bit earlier. And the favourite obviously be hard to beat. But she's certainly got a good finishing speed on her, and she's got plenty of stamina.
Yeah, couldn't be happy with her. She's definitely improved from Te Rapa. So her work yesterday, she had a good strong head out and she worked super. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, she was a really nice win from here at Te Araha. She's just a filly that's going in the right direction at the right time. She showed us quite a bit of ability early. Went through a couple of races where things just didn't quite go her way, and she was feeling her shins and legs a little bit, but I don't know, you know how things happen. She's just come right at the right time. I don't know what it is, but yeah, she worked super yesterday morning, and yeah, I think she can go a cheeky chance. Obviously, there's a couple of really nice ones in there, but I don't know, on her work, I think she'll be thereabouts.
Yeah, so a couple of pointers towards some of the other horses, the Waikato region horses leading in, but I think this is all about Like a Lucy. She looks like a very, very talented horse, and she looks like the winner of the weekend.
Certainly does, Aidan. Like a Lucy from me. I think it's a good quinella, Like a Lucy, and also Canelo out of the Desert Gold Stakes. I think it's the same quinella again.
I think she'll be anchored through every ticket in the land on Sunday. Like a Lucy, they're giving you $1.50. I don't know if the leg up boys might be able to get a little bit extra for you, but $1.50 is short enough, but she deserves to be that price top selection. It would give me a big thrill if our old mate ARA Fields could get up monologue, and the horse is going nicely enough to get into that Oaks pit, but hard to see Like a Lucy beaten.
No, absolutely not, but maybe a same race multi. If you want to catch all the action, well, make sure you're tuning in to the Sunday session from 11:30 a.m. Best bet time on the form, and as Leith is also chasing Vegas, we start with you, Aidan. Who are you liking?
Yeah, good old Leith, eh? Good old Leith. I'm going to go Perfect Scenario. I think he can make it 3 straight. Just hearing the confidence from Sam Burgesson in the interview earlier on, they just know what a trier he is, and he's been set for this race specifically. 4.5 kilograms swing on Harlech. I really like Perfect Scenario from a cosy gate. I think he wins the feature there on Saturday. How about for you, Craig?
I'm sticking at Wingatui with race 5, number 1, which which is the Princey one. She's been in outstanding form. She's just not beating them. She's absolutely smashing them at the moment. I know she's got up in weight, but in class, but she's a very good horse on the rise, and there's nothing better than a mare in form. So race 5, number 1, the Princey one for me, Bevan.
I'm going to Waverley. Roger James Order unleashing back to ace in race number 3. Weak sort of maiden, has won a couple of trials. This one probably in a het canter, won the previous one better. Look, they put up $3. Craziness. Get into it. $3 Friday.
And I'm going to go to Winatui as well. I'm actually going in the Guineas. I really like Royal Sovereign's form leading into this, particularly behind like a Lucy and Canelo. Like Bevan, I thought the soft draw was really good as well. Kelly Myers aboard. Do me in the Guineas at race number 7 at around $5.50 for Bill Thurlow. Here's a summary. Back to ace. Bevan starts us off on Friday at Waverley. Rosso jumps in with Russian ahead in race number 8 at the Whanganui. The Whale with Bet and Win at Addington also on Friday. Then we head to Winatui where the Princey one, Royal Sovereigns and Perfect Scenario are all Craig, Aidan and I's best bets. Note them down and hopefully we've found you plenty of winners. That concludes the form again for another week. Craig, thanks very much for joining us. We look forward to your commentary and of course your input. As always, thanks to Aidan and Bevan. Enjoy all the weekend's racing. Go savagely in the Guineas and we'll catch you back next week.